Everybody stand up, please. We have Lori Rivera. Ready for us now?
Dear God, I just thank you for your love and mercy. Thank you for the country that we live in and this community. I just thank you for it. I thank you for those who are willing to serve our community, and I just pray you blessings upon them and on their meeting tonight. Again, I just thank you for your love. I thank you for Jesus. It's his only precious name I pray. Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, now call order the regular meeting of the hospital, recreational, airport, industrial, solid waste, and public works authorities, and consider a motion to approve the consent agenda. Anybody? So moved.
Trustee Martinez?
Yes.
Trustee Human? Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Chairman Adams?
Yes, no action items, trustee reports about these particular authorities?
I do have a question. I had somebody call me and ask me about some mobile homes, looks like that are going in over on 30th Street. They're sitting there. I drove by there today. Looks like there's electrical stubbed up out of the ground, and they've done some dirt work.
First I've heard of it, unless Toby knows it.
Okay, well, he was,
I believe that is a modular doctor's office, be just behind Christy Baker's office.
correct there.
They came in and they had to get a variance for a mobile trailer like that in the fire district. So yes, they do have a permit for that.
Okay, okay. So what are they using it for?
Mobile, it's a temporary doctor's office.
Okay.
It's not a house, not a ranch.
Any other trustee reports?
Sorry, well, on that
Yeah.
same note, do you know if they plan on building or anything there, or is that gonna be permanent?
Right now, it's there for 2 years.
2 years? Okay. Thank you.
Any other trustee reports? City manager's report?
Not this time, I'm sure.
Audience participation regarding these authorities? Motion to adjourn this portion of the meeting.
Second.
Trustee Human?
Yes.
Trustee Martinez?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Chairman Adams?
Yes, city council agenda. Motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Trustee Human?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Trustee Martinez?
Yes.
Chairman Adams?
Yes, action item A, continuance of condemnation by property owned by Juan Barrientos.
Toby?
There should be a PowerPoint.
Okay.
And what I did was I just added on to the existing PowerPoint that we had.
Can you run it?
I got it, I just, okay, this is the Barrientos trailer. We tabled this one, from the, I believe, the April meeting. They wanted to demo it themselves. And as of today, it's continued from April the 21st. This is May, they had the majority of it gone at that time and gave them another 30 days. This was for May 19th. This is as of today. So everything's clean and clear. So I have no further issues with this property at this time.
Good deal. What kind of motion do you need? Do you need to stop the process?
You moved to condemn it, so there's nothing to condemn at this point.
Yeah.
You just need to vote to remove the condemnation.
Motion, anybody?
Motion to remove condemnation. Second.
Councilman Human?
Yes.
Councilman Martinez?
Yes.
Councilman Lowry?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Toby, I think you're next to Action item B, go ahead.
Okay, this one, the owner and his daughter came in, they wanted to, or no, excuse me, the owner came in and they wanted to remodel. It had to go in front of the Board of Adjustments, Planning and Zoning. So we did that process. It was in front of Planning and Zoning in May. They asked some questions, they tabled it. It was back in front of them in June. In the meantime, she decided that she wanted to demolish it. It was going to be too expensive to remodel it. So at that time, on June the 11th, I went ahead and issued the demolition permit on this property. At that time, she also got her roll-off, and as you can see by the picture, she started demoing. And there's still a little bit of an outbuilding left. I thought she might be here this evening. My recommendation is that we allow her another 30 days to finish this project up. If not, then we can issue a city complaint and bring it to municipal court.
It's within the authority of your office to grant that extension, isn't it?
It's to the council because I brought it to the council for condemnation. The majority of it, 85% of it's gone, so I would recommend that we allow her another 30 days. I can bring it back to council. If it's not, then I can go with city complaint against her in front of the municipal judge.
Reason order, yeah, motion.
I'll make a motion to allow the property owner 30 more days to complete the demolition.
Second that.
Councilman Hewland,
Yes.
Councilman Lowry,
Yes.
Councilman Martinez,
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes, next up. Action item C, widening portion of Boulevard of Champions as presented by Mr. Schumacher. Go ahead.
Yeah, Walt, you want to address this? This is your agenda item.
Okay, all right. Since last month, I haven't been able to get a hold of the attorney, and Deborah has not been able to get a hold of the attorney either, although she did.
We spoke to him today.
Today.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
that's
okay.
going to return phone calls, yeah.
Okay, so do you know if that's permitted or not?
Do you
Yes,
want
go
me
ahead.
to- Okay, I did talk to him this morning. He said that you can do a minor project amendment that does not have to go to the local planning committee. If it's a minor amendment and there has to be a project amendment document of some kind drawn up from the industrial authority is the one who did the note for the loaning on the TIF. There would have to be some kind of legal document drawn up for that, and I'm not real sure about that process yet. He was checking into that further.
Plus the scope of work and engineering design to satisfy the requirements of the TIF.
It would have to be approved by city council.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's what we're asking for, the city council approval then, and do whatever.
That would allow TIF funds to be utilized for the project.
What does Mr. Schumacher, what are his responsibilities at this point?
Well, number one, design. Number two, a scope of work, exactly what you're doing, which in this case is pretty simple. And then number three is this document that Deborah refers to. We have asked the attorney if he has a template form that he could send to us that we could utilize. But to get all three of those things in place and bring them to the council for your consideration.
So at this time,
I think
it's
what
not
we're
probably
looking
we
for is
just table
approval
this,
contingent upon.
you know,
It'll have to be brought back to you so that you can consider the documents. That's what it'll have to.
Those three documents are a condition precedent to the council approval, is that what you're saying?
Well, the council would consider the documents as presented for approval of the project to satisfy the TIF requirements. In order to use those funds, it must be approved by this council. And I think it would be premature for you to approve something that you, and especially when you haven't seen the design and or the scope of work, which I said, scope is pretty simple, but you need to see the design.
And what was the third thing, the document from the lawyer?
A document of,
It
Oh,
would be called,
yeah,
called a
amendment,
project
yeah.
plan amendment.
But he was on the road when we talked to him.
He
He was
was,
gonna go back into his files and see if he had one that he had done for, you know, some other project, or he had a template, he would send it to us, that way we don't have to go out and reinvent the wheel. It's not, I don't think it's something that you have to on the back.
Yeah, this kind of sounds like it adds more expense to what we're looking at originally. You're gonna have attorney fees, other fees. We're talking about $5,000,
I think it was 5,600.
5,600.
The attorney fees should be minimal. In fact, I don't know if there'll be any attorney fees at all. But the engineering, you could go so far as to get a profile from ODOT that would satisfy the requirements of the type of road that you're trying to build. I think last time you put in, 6 inches of AD3 and 5 inches of asphalt?
Well, I was thinking it was 6 and 6, I'd have to go back and look at whatever the city manager wanted at the time.
Well, Deborah's record showed the 6 and 5.
Okay.
And we kind of dug back in.
Well, it was whatever Steve Hewitt said he wanted, that's what we did.
Has Donald been up there to look at it?
Don and I, well, all you can see is what is presently there. You can't see, you know, we can't see how many inches of AD3,
Oh.
inch and a half, anything like that, but we've been out there and looked at it. Yes, we met Walt out there.
Yeah, it's-
He had his flags. and
It's flagged out there, but it's, I mean,
See what the project
it
is.
isn't that big a deal to get up.
It's not, but if you're going to use TIF funds, then this is the process you gotta go through.
Correct, and that was gonna be my next question. Do we have to use TIP funds to do this? I mean, can we use money from the street department to do this? I don't know. I mean, I'm just.
You can, I mean, it is it's a dedicated city street as accepted by a prior council. But yes, you could use city funds to do that.
Wonder if Walt will split the cost with us.
What?
Split the cost with us.
I'd rather not, because I'm spending, you opened up a door for me here. I'm spending $315,000 to put a new ride in next February. I think I'm doing at least my part to bring people to Clinton,
Yeah.
bring in sales tax money. The TIF district was a 15-year deal. It will be paid off, Deborah, 3 years, 4 years, who knows? It looks
Probably.
like 7 years or 8 years ahead of schedule. And that's why I think we ought to just use the TIF district. It's money that's gonna be there.
Okay.
It's not out of your street budget.
So you don't,
In some ways, it's kind of use it or lose it.
The TIF money?
the TIF money is dedicated to the repayment of the debt. The Industrial Authority borrowed $1.5 million from the Economic Development Fund so that we could fund this note to fund his project. Progress payments were made as he completed his work. We advanced him money for that up to $1.5 million. That money, like I said, was borrowed from the ED fund. As the sales tax, lodging tax, and ad valorem tax collections come in throughout the year, that money is set aside and then made payments on that note. So it's from sales tax, lodging tax, and ad valorem that's coming in is what's making the payment for that note. Does that make? And once that note is paid off, it goes away completely. Those agencies, the city of Clinton retains their lodging tax and sales tax, the county gets their sales tax, ad valorem tax back.
But
It will
you
end.
say no, but there was no external third-party bank involved. You
No.
had two city entities borrowing from each
Right.
other.
The Industrial Authority borrowed it from the Economic Development Fund, which an industrial authority has a note with Hotel Locker.
So the TIF funds, as you receive them, they're not sitting somewhere, they are put against
The debt.
go back to economic development where they go back to.
They go back to the debt payment, yes,
Right.
and it's transferred back to the Economic Development Fund. Once that's paid off, all of that goes away. The TIF is ended at that point in time, when it's paid off.
Let me clarify something there, if I may. I can't tell you how the contract is, but it includes all of the land in the TIF district. So it includes the convenience store, sales tax and whatever, which is owned by Hotel Locker. It includes Holiday Inn Express, which is owned by Hotel Locker. It includes the water park, which is owned by Schumacher Investments LLC. And it includes the land that the city had, the 9 acres over there where the La Quinta is. So the La Quinta now should be online. also paying down on that TIF note, not just hotel market.
Right.
But it's way ahead of schedule, which is why it would keep more cash for the city if you just did it out of the TIF district. In other words, if you take it out of your roads, then you got $5,600 less to use for roads. If you take it out of the TIF district, it just makes it 10 days longer before the TIF note is paid off, that type of thing. I mean, it's paying off at about $250,000 a year, so you're probably talking about extending the TIF 5 more days or 6 more days is all you're doing.
What kind of rider you putting in? What kind of rider you putting in?
That comes out at the appropriate time.
Oh,
But I can tell you that you will like it because it's an adult ride well, you might be too old. Probably from 16 to 35. It's not a ride that little kids, I'm just kidding with you. But when we're talking about that, and that's why I say I think we're doing our part to bring people to Clinton and to make money for us and to make money for Clinton. I'd like the city council to think about running that train more often. People come out here, they can only do the water park so much. And you don't go to any other town regularly that is a single entity town as far as entertainment. If you go to Branson, you don't go to Branson because they have one particular place. Branson's got 20 places. The problem we had during the spring break is that people said, where else, what can we do, what can we do? We actually personally bought $600 worth of tickets to the 66 Museum for people that were somewhat getting unhappy because they were looking for something else to do. I think it behooves the council and the city manager, and I don't know who's responsible for that, to start running that train on weekends, particularly maybe Saturday, on a regular basis, and for sure during the 1 or 2 weeks of spring break, like every day. And I know it's hard to find an engineer, but it's hard to find lifeguards too. You just have to do it.
Sounds like a good idea, Mr. Harris. You want to authorize them to?
I have a question. So are you're saying you would rather the funds come from the TIF district?
It doesn't matter to me. The $5,600 is $5,600. What I'm saying is,
Yeah.
from your standpoint,
Yes.
it's $5,600. It doesn't come out of your roads budget, and it makes the TIF district 5 days later being paid off.
Exactly. But what is the plan that, when you came to the council a month ago and presented, all we were told at that time was there was going to be an expansion.
Okay.
I don't know what we're doing. I don't personally haven't seen anything like what the proposal is.
Okay, the proposal is with the longer trailers. Okay, I just forgot mine. With the longer trailers and the long school buses, now we get a lot of school buses in there, that the turning radius is tighter and they need more room. So what we're going to do is take the north side of the traffic circle and add about 7 feet to it. And then we're going to restripe it. I didn't put striping or anything in it, we'll do that ourselves. We restripe it to move vehicles closer to the north side. In other words, right now they have a lane, we move the lane over to the north side, so they're wider as they come around. And then they have no problem making the turn.
Has there been any thought to maybe relocating the sign and just removing the circle? So therefore, as cars and trucks expanding it bigger and wider, that we don't have an issue maybe in the future?
I don't know if you want to tackle with the people in this community removing the monument to the athletes. It also slows traffic down, coming down through there.
Okay.
What do we want to do? You want to authorize to look at the TIF, or what do you want to do?
Well, I mean, in my opinion, if Walt is okay with using the TIF money and taking a little longer, then, I mean, we could vote today on someone to say, hey, you know what, let's just take it from the street department, and that would happen faster. But if he's okay with using the TIF money and wait a little longer, I think that's the way that we need to do it.
I would make a motion that we table this until proper documentation is completed and has a chance to come in front of council and have council approval.
Scope, design, and amendment.
Deborah, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
From your point of view, is there an advantage to doing it one way or another, or is it just 6 of one, half dozen? Yeah, do you,
As I said, I spoke to Dan McMahon. There are ways to do a minor project plan amendment. The TIF is paying down, we did that TIF document to be formed for a 15-year time period. The note, I think, was a 15-year time period. I think it's gonna pay out in a total of 6, probably 6, 7 years rather than 15 years. It started in 2011, I believe. I have to go back and look. I believe it was in 2011.
would it help from a budget standpoint to pull money out of the TIF instead of from this year's road budget?
We did not budget anything for this type of improvement to that road in our capital improvement fund budget, which is where we usually pay for road projects if it's a sizable. This is kind of a maintenance item. If it's gonna only be $5,000 or $6,000, it's kind of a maintenance item. And we did not budget for this specific project.
I was also prepared for if there was an issue with the TIF. At the last meeting, after I had my proposal, there was a discussion and you adopted a credit card for all the overseas purchases, which you'll get 1.7% back on. That money's not earmarked. I don't have any problem getting this done and being repaid out of the 1.7% when that money starts to come in.
From my side of the desk, I'd kind of like to keep that on the revenue side. Our budget is extremely tight. I don't want to dip into that. If this doesn't do anything else, it shows you the beauty and the flexibility you have when you have a TIF. This is a value of it. It allows you to do things without imposing an expense on the property owner in this case, or upon the citizens at large. Who's, that's what I see the budget. That's who I think of. That's their money. It's the citizens in town. So, a TIF allows you to do things without imposing any kind of a burden on them, and allows you to do things that normally you couldn't do. It could be that we're not talking about a $6,000 project. It could be a $60,000 project. I think the exercise that we went through is very, very worthwhile. And like Lucas said, if it's okay with Walt that we take a little bit extra time to utilize the TIF funds, that certainly would be my and I think there's a motion on the
Yes.
table.
I made the motion to table this until proper documentation to obtain the TIF funds is in place and come back to council approval at that time.
Second.
I'll second that.
Councilman Hewland,
Yes.
Councilman Martinez,
Yes.
Councilman Lowry,
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes, thanks, Paul. Appreciate you.
At the end of the day, the end result is the same.
Yeah.
It just takes a little longer.
That's right.
Action item A, authorization to purchase server and network upgrades. Update, street closings, parades, and curb wipers.
I believe that is the last page in your packet, which shows 5 different occasions that city streets would be closed for a variety of projects. And I think it's the practice of this council to approve those ahead of time, and any others come up, and certainly consider them, and this is what we have to consider to present to you at this time.
Yeah, homecoming parade, rodeo day, Veterans Day, Festival of Lights, Route 66. Motion anybody to approve, or any questions for Jim Minch?
I make a motion that we approve the following requests of street closings.
I'll second that motion.
Councilman Hewland,
Yes.
Councilman Lowry,
Yes.
Councilman Martinez,
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes, now action item A, purchase server and network upgrades not to exceed $38,000.
This is Mr. McCullough's item, since nobody else here knows what we're talking about.
As it says, it's a request not to exceed 38,000, and you'll notice the amount changed in there.
Yeah.
Put this together, tried to go with quotes here, but that didn't happen. We found some discrepancies in the products and the vendors changed some pricing, and anyway, that jumped the number to 52,000. Still within budget, it's a capital, there's two projects for like $70,000, and this kind of coming out of both of those, and then combined, that's still below the amount we had. There's another piece of equipment for $20,000, and that still leaves $3,000 or $4,000 below budget for the items.
All right, any questions for Gene? Anybody?
So are we able to live within the terms of the agenda item, not to?
Well, and that was one thing I don't know, if you make a motion to allow that, to amend it to be the 52,000,
Got to repost?
repost, okay.
How long is it gonna be before you get all the kinks worked out?
Oh, it'll definitely be done by then, I mean, I've got solid quotes now on the one vendor, so anything that came in would either be lower or just discarded.
But we have to repost, so this agenda item doesn't really do you any good, so we can come back again the first meeting in August, and that'll work for you.
Second meeting, won't have another meeting until May.
Oh, that's right, yeah. That's
We're having a late first meeting, and
Moving right ahead.
well, that'll work.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gene.
I'm sorry, I just say that because the vendor right now has got the good pricing. This is their end of year one, so we got a bunch of discounts. That's why it'd be best to do it before August,
Oh, okay.
to get all that pricing, so, thanks.
Thanks. No motion needed. Council report? Anybody? City manager's report?
The city lake was, caught 4.2 inches last night. It's going over the top of the dam again. Foss received 5. South of Burns Flat was for 1.5 inches, Donald. Arapahoe's, 1.5 inches, I believe that's right, David. And Clinton got 2, it's raining again, so, Washita is rising. I don't know where it's gonna peak out at, but hopefully Foss will catch some water out of this as well. We've been producing water from Clinton Lake, as I've said several times, since June 1st. We're producing about 900 gallons a minute. Out there, we add up that to 1,200 gallons a minute in order to fill our tanks up. We're testing our new chlorine generator out there. It's working great, just like it's supposed to. We're not having any problem. I've got comments from the community that the water is clear since we brought Lake Clinton back online. Of course, the quality of water falls has probably increased or improved with the amount of water that they have in it now. But anyway, we're getting along quite well. We're just taking from false arguments. There's no overage involved. We're producing all our own water. We need to do some work out at the water treatment plant, but we're going to put that off until we can offset some of that production with some of the groundwater wells that we have. So things are going good for us.
Has the demand been below average for this time of year, I would assume?
Yeah, with all the rain that we've got, yes. I mean, it's below what you've experienced in the past 4 or 5 years, I'm sure.
Was there an increase in use when we lifted the restrictions?
Jeremy, I
It
think
was
it was so
minimal.
wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been, I think it's kind of clouded because of the extremely wet last couple of months. So I mean, really, I think we'll see kind of where we stand into this month going into August.
You know, like most communities, all it is predictable, except for the sprinkler system. But, you know, it wasn't the wettest May on record, it was the wettest month on record. So everybody was saturating about that. At the time when we got this, I saw some sprinklers running around town. It rained again, and it's raining again now. So, you know, our consumption is a lot.
Honest participation?
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
I have one more thing, and I was gonna mention back the Public Works Authority. Are we, that overage that we paid this month was about $4,000, I believe. Is that, are we gonna get that any lower than that, or is that, are we still gonna continue to be paying overages to Voss on a monthly basis?
We do not plan on paying any overage to Foss. Overage is calculated on a weekly basis. You pay your bill on a monthly basis. Our staff reads the meter coming from Boston, the city of Clinton, every Monday morning. We make sure we're under that by some. We don't want to be under it by a lot, but we want to be under it by some. We're watching that very close.
And I could be, it may have been $14,000.
It was
It was.
14,000.
I was, okay. Thank you.
Anything else, anybody? Audience participation? Yes, sir.
Bobby Stewart, the adjutant of the American Legion post here. And it's been asked of us if it's possible for us to dig an underground from the electrical meter out by the gate up to the pavilion, the American Legion Pavilion. At one time or another, there was electricity. For some reason, it was discontinued when the service was out to the west end of the cemetery. I went out and met with the cemetery manager today, and we looked the things over. You just have a problem whenever you go to digging trenches around graves, and then the line for graves are going to be. We looked at one possibility of if we go that route, or could go that route, to go west from that meter base in line with the pavilion, and there's a line of grave markers where there's no grave, no bodies buried. And we could go under those grave markers. He was talking about that. Most of them are military grave markers, just small. We could lift them up, move them, dig the trench, set the line, set the stones back in place, never to know they'd been moved. I would not want to do that without consulting families of those that are there. But I just need to know if the city will approve that so we can get electricity back to the pavilion. We have the program there every year, and we have to run an extension cord 100 feet just to hook up our amplifiers and our equipment. And if we could reestablish that electricity there at the pavilion, there's already the conduits there, the receptacle boxes there, everything's been removed. We need new wire pulled in it and everything, but the possibilities there, and we would just really like to get that pavilion more attractive and more serviceable for the American Legion.
When you say
Back like it was in the beginning.
when you say conduit, you're talking about above ground conduit.
No, I'm talking about below ground.
So why would you have to lift up the?
Because there's only a 2-foot space between coffins. And that's the 2-foot area where we have to go, where the grave markers are.
But there's not existing conduit there.
No, there's no conduit there now. And that's why I'm just wanting to present that to the council and let you know that if there is a possibility, there again, the gentleman had asked us to put a light on the flag. So the flag can be lit all the time out there. The American Legion voted not to go that route because of some other circumstances. But we still need the electricity at the pavilion for the various programs that we have out there. And if it's possible, I took a picture, I believe there are 4 grave markers in that one line. Would be a short dig, but we can dig in there and then not ever have to worry about, if they open a grave, getting into the electrical wiring, because that is designated just that one particular lane for just the grave markers. There'll be a coffin here and a coffin over there, but there's a 2-foot gap where there will not be any graves dug.
Who's he need to talk to?
Well, he said that he would notify the families, and I think if it is acceptable to the families of the grave markers that are there, that, or the council could give you permission contingent on the approval of all those families if they so chose to do so.
Okay, and all of these are veterans. All four of those grade markers are veterans, so we would have access to.
action tonight.
Yeah.
Just not on the agenda.
Yeah, not on the agenda, but if he wants to come back with approval from those family
There
members,
you go.
then absolutely, council, if you can get on the agenda for the next meeting and
Okay.
take it.
Yeah, that's right.
That'll work.
Yeah, so we're listening.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Glad to.
Any other audience participation? Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Sir.
My name is Leon Kicker, and I guess most of you know I'm a candidate for council. And I've worked for the street department, fire department, parks department, everything back in the day, from back in the 70s. But my particular question tonight is about the fire department and city manager. He was telling Mr. Schumacher just a minute ago how tight the city budget is. And I believe that, I really do. But I would like to know, I saw an expenditure of $175 for a physical for a fire chief that has been turned down twice by the Weatherford Fire Department, and I'm pretty well sure that he's not ever going to pass this business. I'd just like to know why he justifies pursuing this when you've got at least a half a dozen men at the fire department today that live in Clinton, grown up in Clinton, they know your town or our town, they know our county. And I just like to know why we're even looking outside our own fire department for a fire chief. When you got this many men over here right now with 10 or more years of experience.
Mr. Kinder, I want to jump in real quick, just because.
Right ahead.
Yeah, and this is your opportunity to voice your opinion and
Yes.
to whatever you want to do, but Mr. Skiles can't respond to anything that you're saying.
Well, somebody needs to ask Mr. Scott. That's all I got to say.
No, and I'm not running you off, but you can certainly say your piece, but it's in.
You know, my thing is, for 100 years, that's how long Clinton Fire Department's had firefighters and fire chiefs. They've all been, every one for 100 years has come out of this town. You show me one that hasn't in 100 years. And I don't know why we should change that now. I want somebody in that position that knows where I live, knows where the closest hydrant is to my house, that works and functions. I want to know out in the county, does he know where the farmers live? Does he know where, the correction line is? No, a man from out of town, out of state doesn't know this. It takes years to learn that. You got men sitting at that fire station there tonight that know everything there is to know and are totally qualified for this job. To me, it makes absolutely no sense. I don't know who I'm supposed to be addressing here, but that's just my piece, and thank you for listening. I appreciate it.
Everybody, I appreciate it, yes, everybody, Lonnie, we're going to be careful here. We are not going to use these nights. I appreciate your comment. We are not going to use these
Is this
nights
not a public meeting?
as an opportunity to campaign.
I'm
There are
not
going to be
campaigning
opportunities
for
to
nothing.
campaign.
I'm looking at the protection of my city, my town, my county. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I am Lonnie Burns, I am running for council, that's right. But the deal is, my only concern with guys is, why didn't we at least put American flags out for the 4th of July? Why didn't we do anything to celebrate? That breaks my heart. That we're, towns around us were just having a great time with the fireworks. And I appreciated the tribe out there doing their thing, that was great. But what's our deal? Are we not patriotic enough to at least put flags up and down the main drag of town? Are we not concerned about, even Walt's deal with wanting the street light? I think that's a great idea for the future of his area, for that area right there. I'm just concerned, and this is a public meeting. And that's my thoughts, and I'm really disappointed that we didn't do more to celebrate the 4th here, and show people when they come to this town that we're patrons.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Any other participation? Motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Councilman Hewland.
Yes.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilman Lowry.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes.